Hi team, this is Anna and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I realize that I look a little pale, a little bland, a little Morticia Adams, but it is because today we are going to be testing out and reviewing the newest launch from Natasha Denona, the Hyper Natural Face palette. So the color will be on the face in just a bit, bear with me, and I am super excited, so let's dive right into it. I have purchased the palette off of Natasha Denona website. They had a pre-launch for members, or whatever it's called, like a membership, free membership. You just like use your email address and you can sign in, and I paid something over $52 because I did use Morgan Turner's discount code, and you can use my code Anastasia15 and that will help me out. Thank you so much. And I did use that code. I was surprised that the palette was at a lower price point because it has a lot of face product as well as eyeshadows. I kind of thought it would be a little bit high up there, but maybe because as a consumer, I'm just always expecting the worst and for everything to be more expensive. So I was surprised by the price point. And as always, the shipping, the packaging, everything from the Natasha Denona website was top notch, 11 out of 10. I love ordering from their website. It always comes super fast, and I just appreciate that so much as a person who creates content for a living. So the palette comes in this classic Natasha Denona packaging. It actually says right here, no makeup, eye and cheek essential, which I thought was really interesting because I don't consider this palette a no makeup palette, but I'm not a genius like Natasha Denona. I trust her. Then what I thought was interesting is that, so as always, we have all of the details here. This product was made in Italy, of course, so it's gonna be that beautiful Italian formulation, 24-month shelf life, which is 2 years, which is amazing for products like that. Obviously, I'm gonna use for way more than 2 years, but you know. What I found interesting is that this packaging has a warning on the back of it. And it says, warning, bronze and contour and blush must be used only on cheeks. So I went in here with a total plan on using the bronzer and the blush in my crease of the eye to use as eyeshadow. Now that I've read this, I'm like, I do use glitter and all the stuff that I'm not supposed to put on my eyes, but at the same time, I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious about it. So I think that I'm not gonna use the bronzer on my eyes, at least in today's review. I'm just gonna stick to the eyeshadows for the eyes, and then I'm gonna put the face products on the face, you know, as intended. So this is our little box. Let's get into the real stuff, the real deal. Hyper Natural Face Palette. The first thing I noticed when I opened up the box is that it is way small, not way smaller, but like smaller than I thought it would be. And then I was like, okay, maybe this justifies the price point. I'm gonna show you her original Glam Face palette next to it. As you can see, the packaging is just a tad bit smaller. So here's the Glam behind the new palette, right? So just a little bit smaller, which is interesting. Let me look at the amount of product actually. So here, we have 13 grams, and here, yeah, so in the old palette, we have 13 grams. In the new palette, we have 12.8 grams, which is not a big deal. The second thing I thought when I opened this baby up, and let's actually look at it, is that it looks so gorgeous. It looks so stunning and so luxurious. I was not expecting this at all. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. I, of course, saw the leaked pictures months ago at this point. I am used to getting leaked pictures from Natasha Denona. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't know if it bothers her brand. I hope that she's not getting hurt because of it, because I love her so much and I love the brand. The leaked pictures, I saw this and I was like, oh no, oh dear God, no. I did not like that at all. I do love the brand. I knew that I would still pick up the palette, and I also knew that leaked pictures are always ugly. They're always ugly. They're never pretty. And then the campaign pictures rolled out, and I was like, okay, I see what you were doing here. I see what you mean. I want it. Give that to me. And then when I opened this baby up and I saw it in real life, it's so much prettier than the campaign pictures. I got extremely excited. My mom got excited. I will probably gift this palette to her, or if I like it so much that I want it, I'm gonna buy one for her when she comes to visit me. But take a look right there. In this palette, we have a blush duo, we have a bronzer and contour duo, and we have 5 universal eyeshadows in completely new formulations. Natasha herself presented the 5 eyeshadows as single, kind of like one and done eyeshadows. Obviously, I'm gonna wanna test out more than just one shade today, so I'm gonna use more on my eye, but this is how they're supposed to be used, one and done. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, okay? Obviously, this palette is not suitable for all kind of complexions. Most importantly, not suitable for deeper complexions. Yes, it would have been just wonderful if she came out with 2 versions of this, just like she did with that face palette, because I own a lighter version, but there's also a deeper version. Hopefully she will in the future. I don't know. Obviously, this is not good enough for 2024 to come out with only one face palette. There, I said it. If you want to see how this looks on deeper complexion, from all of the reviews that are posted by now, and I'm filming it on February 23rd, and this will go up tomorrow morning on Saturday. Happy Saturday, yay! Of all of the reviews posted by now, I saw that Alicia Archer, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, posted a review on this, and she has a deeper complexion. So I haven't seen it because I just didn't want to watch any reviews before I create my video. So if you want to see how all of these products look on her, go ahead and watch her video. I absolutely love her style and the way she creates her videos and reviews products. So that being said and mentioned, let's actually get to swatches. We will swatch everything, play with it, and then at the end of the video, look at some comparisons, look how it compares to the previous face palettes, and see if we have any eyeshadow dupes within the Natasha Denona collection. I am going to start swatches by swatching the blushes. We have a lighter blush and a deeper blush. They are both powder formulations, so no cream to powder here. This is what it looks like. Let's go ahead and swatch it right here on my hand. Ooh, take a look right there. These are the blush swatches. I think that this color story will create a beautiful ombre blush on my complexion. And obviously, I am excited about this palette because it's catered towards me. I am disappointed that it's not catered towards everyone, but I am hopeful that we're gonna see more of this in the future. So yeah, I think I'm gonna create a beautiful ombre blush using this palette today. Now we're gonna go ahead and swatch bronzers / contours. This shade just looks grayish on me. It will probably look better on somebody with even lighter complexion. And to be completely honest with you, when brands put so many shades in one pan and these individual shades are so tiny, I tend to not have enough patience for this. And I'm just gonna probably mix them all and use them as one. That's what Natasha also did in her demo. So I mean, it's meant to be used like that, so I don't mind. I'm just gonna mix them all. But for the sake of this review, I'm gonna swatch them differently. So we have the first shade, that is the light contour shade, which will be beautiful on even lighter complexion. We have the second shade, which is a beautiful, beautiful medium, like not cool, not warm, a neutral shade for bronzer. And we have the third shade that is deeper and more warm, I would say. I think all of these would create a nice shade for me to bronze my face with. So let's take a look at her eyeshadows here. I don't know if you can see it on video, but one thing is not like the others. So this shade right here, shade Dreamy, looks like something we've seen before. This is her wet sparkling formula, which is my favorite eyeshadow formula by the brand. It gives the most beautiful wet effect, sparkly, exactly, it's in the name. It's gorgeous, stunning, and I can't wait to try this out. However, we have a completely new formulation from the brand in all of the other 4 shades: Everyday, Statement, Soft, and Casual. These are all Hyper Silk eyeshadow formula, which at first on demo and promo pictures kind of looked like soft metallic shimmery formula, kind of satin. Satin is the right word. That's what it looked like. Now that I'm looking in the pan, these look more like a mix of her creamy matte formula and satin formula, something like that. Now that I see it in real life, I totally can use these shades in the crease and not feel bad about it at all. But obviously I have not even swatched this yet, so let's go ahead and swatch all 5 of the eyeshadows. Also forgot to mention that these are all magnetic and you can reorganize and use these shades if you like reorganizing Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes, which I do love doing that. So the first shade is Everyday, and now that I picked it up, this is not matte at all. Look at how shiny this looks. I am surprised it did not give this effect in the pan. So let's go ahead and swatch that. That is an absolutely gorgeous Everyday shade. This bronzy, beautiful kind of metallic effect. This would look amazing all over the lid, and this would give you like a 30-second eyeshadow look. I'm actually obsessed. I'm actually in love with this. So the second shade is shade Dreamy. That is that Wet Effect sparkling formula, and you can see immediately that this is way more shiny, and I'm going to swatch it right here. Oh yeah, give this to me. I know like this formula by touch. It's kind of like flaky when you touch it and like more dry, but when you apply it, it gives this absolutely insane sheen. And this shade reminds me of one of her shades from her I Need a Nude eyeshadow palette, and I'm gonna compare them at the end of this video. Then we have shade Statement, which is the deepest shade in the palette, and just look at that. This all over the lid. You have the easiest, most gorgeous chocolate smoky. Oh, look at the pigmentation. Wait. Oh my God. This is just Natasha Denona magic. She creates a palette that at first I feel like I'm not even sure if I need this. And then I look at it, I swatch it, I use it, and I'm like, I'm going to take it traveling with me every single day. This is insanity. All right. The next eyeshadow color is called Soft, and it's that pinky shade that I am actually intrigued by. I'm interested that she put pink in here. I think it's a really interesting decision, and I think it's a pop of color that this eyeshadow palette really needs. This looks stunning. This looks beautiful. This has that same sheen, kind of like the other, the first one and the third one. The third shade, as you can see, they're all the same formula, the Hyper Silk formula. And the last shade is Casual, which looks like that like charcoal deep shade. It's more like a gunmetal shade. Very intriguing. Very interesting. Oh, wow. That is so cool. So take a closer look right there. Here are all of the eyeshadows swatched. Again, this is not supposed to be a cohesive color story. These eyeshadows are made and created to be a one and done eyeshadow look, which I can totally see. However, I will most likely use at least 3 eyeshadows today just to see how they perform on the eye. I'm very interested in seeing how this new formulation performs. I absolutely love this. I am so pumped. Let's put this on my face and eyes. Come on. All right, team, just in case you were wondering, I'm not wearing any cream contour, cream blush product whatsoever. That's why I look so flat. It's just foundation and concealer on my face. And I'm gonna start with picking up all of the 3 bronzers with an angled bronzer brush. This is by BK Beauty, A507. I am just gonna go ahead and kind of do a little bit of this. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but we're here to try it out. And I'm gonna start tapping all of this right through here. Listen, this bronzer blends itself into the skin, and I gotta say it looks very natural. It's not completely matte. When I was reading about this formulation, Natasha included a lot of hydrating ingredients in these powders, so you can see a little bit of healthy glow, like healthy sheen. I'm not wearing any highlighter or anything like that, but you can see how beautiful that looks. Kind of reminds me of Hourglass palettes, like Hourglass face palettes, just a tiny bit. The finish of it, the way it looks in the pan, it's nothing like that Hourglass palette, but the way it looks on the skin kind of reminds me of that. And you see how gorgeous. I am actually in love. So I'm gonna do one side with you guys and the other side with my people in my short form videos. You know what I mean. So I'm going to apply a little bit on my forehead with patting motions. I don't know if I will ever use these shades individually. As you can see, they work beautifully all together on my skin tone. I'm gonna pick up a little bit for the jawline And I'm also going to do a little bit on the side of my nose to kind of contour my nose, but honestly, just a little bit of this product and I already feel like my face has more color, my face is alive, and I also feel like it's pigmented, but not super pigmented that a beginner would be confused. I feel like it's a very easy to use, luxurious powder, luxurious formula, and wow, just wow. Wait, I need to look in the mirror to see it like in real life. Wow, that is stunning. Now in terms of blush, because I do want to have that ombre blush effect, I am going to use two different brushes for two different blush shades, and I'm going to start with the lighter shade. I'm going to pick it up on this angle brush, also by BK Beauty 112. So I'm going to pick it up. It's a bit powdery, but nothing too crazy. And I'm going to start placing it on the apple of my cheek to bring some color into my face, some life. It is that same formulation, just so you know, so there is a little bit of healthy glow. It's still matte, don't get me wrong, we're not glowy, but there is healthy, hydrated feel about it. I don't even know how to explain it. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning. So yeah, this barely shows up on my complexion, not gonna lie. This is not going to work for other complexions, maybe like a highlight shade as like pink powder, pink under eye powder probably. Now I'm gonna go in with another brush. This is by Morphe. This is their what is this brush? This is my favorite blush brush to ever existed. V106, so beautiful. So I'm gonna pick up this deeper tone right here really carefully. I feel like this will be more pigmented, and I'm going to concentrate this in the back. Ooh yeah, this shade I just love. And you can see how there is no patchiness whatsoever. These shadows just literally blend themselves. I cannot. This is gorgeous. And I was thinking about using a highlighter from Natasha Denona, just from a different palette, but I can honestly skip it today because the skin looks very natural and very, very pretty. What do you reckon? Should I skip the highlighter? I don't know. It's not like you can reply. What do we think? You guys, I'm kind of mixing the two now. I'm in love. I like know for a fact that if I pack this with me next week when I'm going away for a week, I'll be good. Like I'm not gonna need anything else. So take a look right there. We have one side of the face with the face products on, and this side has nothing on. Before, after. Gorgeous. Stunning, obsessed, in love. I'm actually in love with this. I'm gonna use some of the setting spray. Gorgeous. And I'm gonna apply some highlighter because why not? Why not? So I'm gonna use the Berry Pop Cheek Trio from Natasha Denona's previous launch. And I'm gonna pick up this highlighter shade and just apply it on the tops of my cheek. Oh yeah. Look at how that finishes this beautiful kind of like glowy but like very, very natural look. Ooh, in love. I'm gonna apply eyeshadow primer on this eye that we're gonna be working with right now, and I am thinking that I'm gonna use at least 3 or 4 shades, maybe like for a regular look, you know, like a deeper shade on the outer corner, a lighter shade throughout the crease. I do want to try and using that formulation, the Hyper Silk one, on the crease and see what it looks like and if we can pull it off. And then I definitely want to see that like bright diamond shiny shade, like kind of a, like on top, like a little diamond dust moment. So we're gonna start with the shade Everyday, and this shade I'm gonna use as intended, basically picking it up with a finger. Every single demo Natasha had in her promo videos here on YouTube and on her Instagram, she applied all of these shades with a finger. So I'm thinking this is the way to do it, and that's how I'm gonna do it. Ooh, this is a stunning shade. You know what this formula reminds me of? I just figured it out. I just figured it out, you guys. This reminds me of Laura Mercier Caviar Sticks. The ones that are also like one and done, super easy to apply. So this is just a light layer of that Everyday shade, right? It doesn't look too deep or too bronzy. It looks like just a little bit of color on my eye. Obviously, I kind of love it. I'm going to pick this shade up on a fluffy brush like so, and I'm going to see if I can apply it through the crease and kind of blend it out a little bit, and if that's gonna look good. Honestly, yes, you can definitely blend this out in the crease. It's like one of those satin shades that is going to work like that. I'm doing a little bit on the lower lash line as well. This shade looks beautiful on my complexion and with my eye color. Honestly, so gorge. It's definitely not enough shine for me because I am extra. Like, this is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I would put way more on my eyes on a daily, and this is what I'm gonna do. So this is what the shade Everyday looks like. Stunning, beautiful, no makeup girlies. You're gonna love it. Let's pick up a deeper shade. I'm gonna go with the shade Statement, and this shade I will only apply with a brush. I'm gonna pick it up on a very small fluffy brush, and I'm going to concentrate this on the outer corner. Ooh, this is that kind of like a bronzy, smoky moment. Honestly, impactful. Obviously a bit like shiny to have it like out there in the crease, but at the same time, it doesn't look out of place and it doesn't look crazy, right? It looks neutral, it looks beautiful, it looks effortless. That's the word I would use for this palette. I'm gonna apply a little bit more over there. This is really cool. I actually really love this. This also reminds me of the Dior eyeshadow formulation. I feel like this specific formula, the Hyper Silk formula, is perfect for mature eyelids. Is just perfect. It's not gonna emphasize any crevices, any like lines or anything. So yeah, I think my mom is gonna love this palette. This is that wet eyeshadow formula that we already know and love. So I know that I don't have to use it, but I still want to use it because this is going to bring this eye look to a more fun place to be. This is going to make this kind of like casual eye look more me and more my speed. So I'm still gonna do it. I'm just kind of gonna apply it, oh yeah, all over the lid, kind of like diamond dust, like I mentioned before. Take a look right there. Isn't it so pretty and so shiny? I will also pick up this same shade and apply it in the inner corner. And then maybe to try one more shade, just pick up a little bit of this pink. I don't know if this is gonna look good, but I wanna try this pink shade because like I said, I thought it was very interesting that she added a pink shade here. And I'm going to apply it through the center of my lower lash line. Ooh, this is quite impactful. Interesting. Take a look right there at this eye look before I apply liner and mascara and lashes. This is the level of depth this palette will give you. It looks way, way deeper in the pan. As you can see on the eyelid, this deep shade is right here in the outer corner. It just looks like a little bronzy. This palette is definitely for those of you who like a no makeup look. You will not get drama from this. If you put this shade all over the lid, it is going to be beautiful, bronzy, smoky eye, but it's not going to be that deep. Just wanted to put it out there. Nonetheless, I actually adore this eye look. I think it's very simple, effortless, and beautiful. I'm going to finish up the other eye, put mascara and all of that good stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna put lashes yet. I'm gonna see about that, but definitely liner and mascara. And then I'm gonna come back, show you the final result, do some more comparisons, and share the final thoughts with you. All right, team, I did add eyeliner and I added mascara. No lashes. I felt like this look is simple enough and we don't need a lash. I honestly am in love with the final result. This literally was effortless and super easy to use. I really, really loved the face products in this palette. These are going to be super handy, and this palette on its own is going to be super handy when I travel. Obviously, I'm a huge lover of matte eyeshadows, so this is not the perfect eyeshadow situation for me. I actually might swap out some of these and put mattes instead, and then create my perfect palette for traveling using this guy, which makes me so excited. But using only these shades, I still created a very beautiful, wearable, neutral, everyday look. I feel like this palette is going to be gorgeous for those of you who have lighter complexion and also those of you who just love that easy application. You only have 10 minutes in the morning before work to get it done, apply makeup, and get going. This will be your best friend. So yeah, I love this palette. I'm happy I purchased it. I will definitely keep using it. And if you want to purchase this palette off of Natasha Denona, please use code Anastasia15 to get some money off and also help me out. The best of both worlds. Anyways, let's get to some comparisons. So take a look at the blush right here. I'm gonna show you the blushes by Natasha Denona that I have in my collection. And knowing that all of them are another formula, they're all cream blushes, and also none of the shades really look like these, I am thinking that I'm not even gonna swatch these. There's no point. These are definitely not dupes. In terms of bronzer, I do not own any other bronzer from Natasha Denona. So I'm actually super excited that I picked this product up because now I will be able to do full face of Natasha Denona and not skip bronzer. That makes me super excited. One thing that I feel like is dupeable is eyeshadows. I'm not really sure about these 4 shades. I'm gonna dig into my collection in a second, but immediately when I saw the shade Dreamy, I thought of this palette, I Need a Nude, and this palette has a bunch of these wet shimmery formula, and this shade right here, Sheen, which is, now that I'm looking at it, is definitely warmer than that one. Let me put them together for you guys. So these are these 2 shades like next to each other, and even if they're the same formula, Sheen is definitely warmer. Now that I'm thinking about it, shade Mia might be closer even though it's pink. So I'm gonna swatch all of them. So this is the new shade Dreamy. This is the shade Sheen from I Need a Nude palette. And this is shade Mia from I Need a Nude palette. They're absolutely not exact dupes, but seeing that they are kind of just that like glittery effect on the eye, I bet all 3 of these will look really close to one another. And looking at this Dreamy shade from the new palette, it actually kind of also looks like one of those shadows in the previous face palette. Maybe this one. No, that's too golden, right? It's gonna be too golden, but I'm gonna swatch it anyway. So this shade is called Inner Corner from her face palette, and it's a different formulation. Yeah, it's not her wet formula. This is just her super sparkly shimmer formula, but they are quite similar. I'm thinking that like all of these are quite similar, to be honest with you. Other comparison thoughts that I had was to look up this shade right here, which is Casual, because in some of her launches, like the Retro Glam palette, we had a couple of these satin deep shades that I found really questionable at the time, but I do appreciate them now. So these 2, Maxi and Jazzy, I'm thinking I'm gonna swatch these. So we got Maxi and we got Jazzy. So definitely Casual and Maxi are sisters, if not twins. This one from Retro Glam palette has a little bit more sheen to it, so it's a satin, whereas this one is just that silky formula, so you can see this one is a bit more shiny. And then I will also actually swatch the shade Statement from the new palette, because that one looks like this one, doesn't it? Well, it's a bit warmer. The Retro Glam version is cooler. So we got Casual from the new Hyper Natural Face Palette and Statement right here. And then we have these 2 from Retro Glam. They're kind of dupes, right? They're kind of dupes. And then lastly, also when I said that this shade kind of gives me gunmetal vibes, I thought of the Xenon palette because this one is 50 Shades of Grey, and this definitely should have a dupe for the shade, but I don't think it actually does. I just don't think. This is too shimmery and this is too dark. But I'm gonna swatch it anyways. This shade Grey, I don't know how to say that. It's Greu. Like, what is that? I'm gonna swatch it right here. Yeah, absolutely not. This one is a metallic. This one is 100% a metallic shade. These are way more close to each other. All right, team, so these are all of the dupes I could come up with inside of the Natasha Denona collection that I own. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to know people's opinion on this palette because I've seen different thoughts. Obviously, people are not loving that it's not suitable for different complexions. People are also not loving the layout and the way it looks like, and I agree, on pictures it kind of looks like cheap makeup, but in real life it looks really gorgeous and luxurious in my humble opinion. But also I am biased, and I will always be biased because Natasha Denona is my favorite brand in the world. So my reviews are always going to be a little bit more positive than other people's reviews, and I admit it, I put it out there. I'm not lying to you guys. This is just like how I actually feel about the brand. And take a look right there. I am in love with this super easy look. I will definitely get use out of this palette. I will definitely be using it throughout the next week because I'm going to be traveling and I will only pack this. I will actually probably post a picture over on IG of how I rearrange this because I will swap out some of these shades for mattes and it will be my perfect travel palette. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.